Okay, now before I go talk about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, I want to discuss Battle of Gods real quick. I plan on doing a vlog. I was going to talk about it, give my thoughts on the whole theatrical experience. I went to the theaters, drove 2 hours, tickets were sold out. So I guess you guys will have to wait until, the Blu-ray comes out to hear my opinion of the dub. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk some TMNT. So what did I think of the movie? It was alright. It wasn't the god-awful mess that, is going to set Turtles back for the next 10 years. But it isn't like, the triumphant theatrical return that, many I'm sure were hoping it could have been. Honestly, based off all the trailers and TV spots that I'd seen, this movie ended up being exactly what I thought it was going to be. The humor was solid, the action sequences were very well done, the Turtles I feel were represented fairly well. Shredder was this total uber badass, it was a big summer blockbuster movie version of the Turtles. Also, it was kinda dumb, but it's a movie called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so it's kind of Ninja Turtles dumb. I'm really having trouble figuring out who this movie was actually aimed at. The plot is your basic kind of Saturday morning cartoon villain plot. The dialogue is kind of simplistic and kind of, tiered down, so I guess kids could understand it. But then the action sequences are really fucking intense, and, there's some kind of dark scenes that, might be a little too much for much younger kids. I would say no one younger than, maybe 6, there was a kid crying and had to leave because, there was, kid got freaked out. I guess it's also, kind of geared towards, Turtle fans in general because, there's a few nods to some of the older continuities, the original movie, the comics, the cartoon, little tiny things here and there that if you're, a hardcore Turtle fan, you will pick up on them. But at that same time, there are so many changes done to the core mythos of the Turtles that it's gonna piss off a lot of these people. I mean, I've already gone over, how there's 6 different fucking origins for the Turtles, and, this is just one more, so it doesn't bother me. But I imagine, those fans who have, their one specific canon of Turtles that is the definitive version of Turtles for them, yeah, they're gonna be pissed because it's so far removed from most of those. It's certainly not the worst Ninja Turtle movie ever. 3 is by far still the worst. In fact, I would say this is still better than Ninja Turtles 2. Probably somewhere around the same area as TMNT. Though I'd probably put TMNT higher. And of course, this isn't anywhere near as good as the original movie, and I'll get into that in a bit of why it isn't as good as that one. So let's go ahead and cover some things that I'm sure a lot of people have been wanting to know about this movie. Things that they were worried about or questions they may have, that aren't spoilery. Though I will be having other videos strictly for spoilers to talk about this movie. Okay, first off, Eric Sachs is not the Shredder. William Fichtner's character is not the Shredder. The Shredder is some big Japanese dude, so I'm sure that'll make a lot of TMNT fans happier. And the movie is much worse for it. It is very obvious while watching this film that Eric Sachs was meant to be the Shredder. There is no reason for that character to be 2 characters. In fact, it being split up into 2 characters makes the movie make a lot less sense. I'll get more into that when I do the spoilers video because, trying to go through the details of that really will ruin what few surprises this movie actually has left. There's no Krang, there's no Bebop and Rocksteady, there's no Casey Jones. Karai is in it, though this is kind of the most useless, worst version of Karai I've ever seen. Megan Fox's April O'Neil, not terrible. I didn't hate her scenes. She played the role well enough, I suppose. I kind of wish that they had a better actress for April O'Neil still. Someone who could play a slightly more eccentric character, because the way she acts in this movie feels like she should be a little bit more eccentric and not so bland and monotone as she is in this movie. But credit where credit's due, I suppose. She did a serviceable job. Is this movie anything like the Transformer movies? No. Not at all. It is certainly much better than the first 3 films. I can't comment on the 4th one because I haven't seen it, but it's certainly better than the first 3 Transformer movies. First off, the movie is actually about the goddamn Turtles. They are a very central part of the film. April O'Neil plays a very large part too, but not so much larger of a part than the Turtles themselves. The humor in the film is pretty solid. It's nothing, too witty or, you know, you're not going to really be surprised by how smart this movie is. Certainly not. But it's not so stupid and juvenile that it's going to piss a lot of people off. I mean, you know, there's a few maybe a little eye-rolling, humorous moments in it, but for the most part, it did make me laugh a few times, and I did enjoy it. If there's any movie I actually could compare this to, it would be the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. In fact, it feels like it lifts a lot of things plot-wise from that movie. And just like the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, the story also kind of suffers from blatant last-minute reshoots to, you know, change the story up. Because goddamn fans want to bitch and fucking complain, and then they end up changing the movie in the last minute, and, you know, the fans, I guess, are a little bit happy about these changes, but it makes the movie worse overall. God fucking damn it, can we just shut the fuck up? If there's one word I could use to describe this movie, it would be serviceable. At very least, it's a decent springboard for them to build better TMNT films off of. Now, whether they do or not is only a matter of time, so who the fuck knows? So in the end, do I recommend the film? Sort of. If you're a nostalgia-fueled TMNT fan and you have, like, your one set continuity of Turtles, you know, you're not going to be pleased. It's not the 87 series, it's not the comic, it's not, you know, the movies, it's not the new Nickelodeon series. It is its own thing. Just like every other incarnation of Turtles, this is its own separate incarnation. To TMNT fans who are fine with different iterations of the Turtles and don't get upset over it, you know, they'll take to it a lot better. And I'm sure a lot of you will actually end up enjoying this movie, possibly even more than I did, because I'm kind of a picky bastard. As for, like, the average moviegoer who isn't that invested in TMNT, sure, why not? It's certainly not the best comic book movie this year. Captain America Winter Soldier was certainly better. Days of Future Past, Guardians of the Galaxy, all better movies. I will say it's better than The Amazing Spider-Man 2, though. Not a high benchmark, but, you know, you take what you can get. So yeah, that's my spoiler-free thoughts on the movie. There'll be a spoiler video probably the day after this video comes up. I'm gonna go back to working on the fucking Ninja Turtle 3 review, because, man, that's a long fucking video. So before I do, I have one quick shameless plug for you. So friends of mine and I got together, we did a podcast over on my friend's Weeaboot's channel, where we talked about the newest anime to come out this season. Make sure to check that out. I'm sure there's going to be something clickable here, or I'm sure I'll put a link down there somewhere, you know. So if you're a fan of anime and you want to know what I thought of a few animes that came out this season that aren't Sailor Moon, check that out and you'll just hear a nice little discussion between me and my friends. Alright, now I'm done with this video. See you guys in the spoiler one. Peace out.